Class is in session, hitting the books. MLB back with you on a Friday, August the 1st. Ian Cameron, Connor Mack, the calm after the trade deadline storm. Back to baseball, back to actually, there were a couple games yesterday, but back to a full slate here tonight. A lot of moves, a lot of relievers. You know what's sad about yesterday's trade deadline is that the days in the playoffs of one great starter, one ace versus another ace, and these two guys battling each other and going 7-8 innings deep into the game in a big playoff game, those days are finished. Done. See you later. Now it's all about just get 4 or 5 innings out of my starter in October and just ramp up and add 5-6 relievers that you can throw at the other team from the 5th inning onward. I don't know. I don't love it as much as just having those two big-time starters going head-to-head, and they'd go 7-8 innings, and the manager would come out and say, hey, 8th inning, how do you feel? Keep me in, and he'd keep him in, and he'd keep going. Days are over now. It's become a bullpen battle now in these playoff series now.
Way gone.
Years.
Way gone. And they're all matchups and analytics.
I know. A million pitching changes in the last 4 innings of the game. You get ready for that in October. A million struts to the lineup, to the mound by the manager. Yeah.
Oh man, I got a cough. I fit all of a sudden. But and the Dodgers sometimes, and that's what drives me nuts. Is Dave's just out there, but it's like you gotta have some feel. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you met like a guy's great because they're just like set. He's after this. He does not go after see the lineup a third time or this lefty. And that works great. But sometimes in the playoffs, when a guy you have your best arm out there, sometimes you just gotta to let it go and make some decisions. That's where Dave Roberts used to drive me nuts a little bit. Of course, last year was better, but the playoffs before, get me.
Yeah,
fired.
no doubt. I mean, the days, it wasn't even, I'm not like, certainly it's a lot different than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago, but you can even go back 15 years ago. Because I still remember
it's still
Roy Halladay went out there for the late Roy Halladay, the Philadelphia Phillies, 2010 National League Division Series. I think it was against St. Louis. Threw a no-hitter, complete game no-hitter. Those days are done. You're just not going to see that shit very often.
No holidays, no Pedros, no Schillings, those type. All those guys. Yeah,
just dominate. Mow hitters down. Clemens, you go on down the list. All those great pitchers of the past. Now it's become a battle of the bullpens in the latter innings. And and it goes back to what I meant about the trade deadline yesterday. All the moves were to bolster the bullpen for the most part. Not many people went after big-time starting pitching. They all went after big-time relievers so that they can just ask for 4 or 5 innings out of some mediocre to decent starter, not great starter, but decent starter, and then just plug in a bunch of relievers in the latter innings and ask them to get a bunch of outs. I don't like that version of playoff baseball pitching compared to what we saw 30 years ago when the starter would go out there 7 innings minimum in a lot of cases. 7 innings minimum, those days are done. Sad times. I don't think baseball's better for this paradigm shift that we're seeing with the pitching.
Yeah,
it's different, but I don't know if it's as good. All right, let's get into it. We will begin with for this Friday slate, Milwaukee, Washington. A little bit of a time crunch, so we'll keep a brisk pace here. We got Milwaukee minus 150, road favorites, 8.5 the total. I'm going a little bit lighter today anyway. We got a lot of player movement. Who's in, who's out. Are all these guys going to be ready and available for their respective teams right away?
Yeah.
That remains to be seen. This game, I do like the over. Parker's not in good form at all for the Nationals. And if you look at Quintana, his road ERA has been iffy, and there's a lot of numbers that point to, wow, he's really outperforming what he should be doing. And I worry about that a little bit for Quintana going into this game. So maybe the Nationals back home could scratch out a few runs. So I'm on over 8.5 here. C-Mac, what do you think? Brewers, Nats.
Yeah, there was a few spots this morning. I just stayed off. That Cubs game just easily went under.
Yep. That Rogers great for Baltimore. Great.
He's just right now he's just red hot. And Horton's pitching well too. Yeah, this game is tough for me. I just think Brewers kind of after, even though they have the day off, the big series with the Cubs. This seems like, to me, a little bit of a sleepy spot. It's Parker and what he can do at home. He's been better. Now, the Brewers throughout, especially this run, have hit lefties a lot better. But I think you go out there and pitched well. His last couple starts, he's given up a couple. I could see that again tonight, and I think Katana could pitch well. So yeah, I like the other side a little bit here, the under in this game.
All right, Tigers and Phillies. Philadelphia -150, home favorite, 7.5. The total. Flaherty and Ranger Suarez. Totals dropped from 8.5 to 7.5. I think you can make a case for the under initially. Now it's 7.5, though. Here's the thing: the Tigers have hit better lately. They're really back in good form. They hit lefties all right, especially the last 10 games. Suarez was not great against the Yankees. He was flirting with trouble, it seemed, in a lot of those innings against the Yankees when he pitched against them. And Flaherty, even though he was really one of his best starts of the year against the Jays, let's not forget before that he was struggling, and his road ERA is not very good, Jack Flaherty. So at 7.5, I kind of lean over and fading this move on the total, but nothing strong. Pass on the side. I wouldn't be looking to go against the Tigers, though. I'd lean Detroit a little bit here, +130, starting to heat up again after that big slump. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, it's like, can the Tigers, their bats here, get to Suarez, where he's been so good at home? We're all year great against lefties, and they hit the 2-week horrible where they couldn't hit anything, lefty or righty, for that regard, the Tigers. And after finally he has that bad start against the Angels, he bounced back. Did Suarez. It's tough for me. I mean, I think at this price, I just haven't been able to trust Flaherty on the road. I mean, the thing with this total, he's going to pitch well, but I just haven't been able to trust him, at least not enough. I've backed him or an under or an over, depending on throughout at home. But all the road, I just haven't really wanted to look his way. He's better than what his numbers are too, So maybe at the end of the year he gets going a little bit. He's not elite, but 6-10, 4 or 5, I think, so a little bit high, for Flaherty.
All right, Royals and Blue Jays, Kevin Gausman and Waka Flocka Flame, Michael Waka for the Royals. We got the Jays -150, home favorites, 8 the total. I don't fade the Jays at home anymore. I mean, they have just been absolutely phenomenal at Rogers Center. They're back home after that road trip. I think they're 37-17 at home, like just an incredible home record. The price is, not cheap, though, on Gausman here, -150. But I will say this about Gausman: excellent the last 2 starts, giving up just 1 run in his last 13 innings pitched over 2 starts against the Tigers and Yankees. So obviously he's in a good groove right now. But Waka's been pretty good. Like, he's given up just 1 run in each of his last 3 starts, maybe an under here in this game. I mean, Eileen J, I just don't want to fade Toronto at home. They've been that good in this ballpark, but I'm going to pass. -150 is just not quite good enough of a price for me to back them. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, this seems like a spot maybe the Royals here could win. I mean, this team's 1 game under 500. See, to me, the way I've watched them and they played, they're 10 games or 15 games under 500. But guys like Waka is the reason why they've done well. I mean, the last 3 starts, all 1 earned run. Just eats innings. It seems like he goes out for 6. Just, consistent here. Springer's out of the lineup. But I still think Guerrero, Bichette, they get Ty France. He's going to be in the lineup right here. He's hitting 7.
He is. Yep.
And Varsho in for Springer. I think they could, get a few maybe off Waka. But Gausman's the big key. When his sinker and the splitter's working, he's tough. But if it's hanging a little bit in his command, he can get hit. It's just this offense for the Royals.
All right, we got the Giants and Mets, Robbie Ray and David Peterson, lefties. Battle of lefties here in this one. Mets -145, home favorites, 8 the total, shaded to the under. Not the best price in the world, but I'm on the Mets here, -145. Giants are they're not backable to me right now. They're on a brutal run. They just traded away everybody, pretty much, prior to the deadline yesterday. Now they're going coast to coast, all the way to the East Coast. I know Robbie Ray's been okay at times, but the home run ball can get to him. David Peterson's always a pitcher. I'd rather back him at Citi Field than I would on the road. So all things considered, I think it's a pretty fair price here. Not the worst price in the world. I actually thought the Mets could have been even higher than -145. So I'm okay with laying it with the Mets here. C-Mac, what do you think?
I agree. How can you? This hasn't moved much, really. It's just stayed here. It's gone out a little bit, 145, with all the money on the Mets. But how can you back the Giants. Maybe
One of the
getting out of
best
San
parts of that
Francisco.
Giants team got dealt away too. The great closer. He's got a 2 ERA, Camilo Doval. He's not even there anymore.
Yeah. Still, the bats suck. It's just when the pitching's been good enough too lately, at Pirates, and they can't win games like at home. It's I just think to back them, I would want to see it a little bit more. I talk about Adames pretty good. These guys have some all right numbers going through. Like Flores had some all right 3 for 8 with a homer, but Peterson's been pretty good at home all year. So it's just one I got to stay off. But it's Mets or nothing. I agree. And they're not really swinging a hot bat, but
no, they're not. They had a rough series in San Diego, but San Diego not only heating up, but wow, they're even better now after what they added at the trade deadline yesterday. But I think Mets good bounce back spot too. I think they'll want to bounce back after a rough end of that road trip. Twins Guardians, Joe Ryan. A lot of people thought he'd be dealt. He was not. He remains a member of the Minnesota Twins, and he'll start here tonight for Minnesota, the Twinks. And then you've got, of course, Gavin Williams here for Cleveland. Cleveland minus 125 home favorites, 7 the total in this game. I'll throw it right to C-Mac. I got nothing here. I would lean to Joe Ryan's, to me, the pitcher I'd rather back. But, I mean, the Twins got dismantled yesterday at the trade deadline. I mean, all their best relievers are gone. They got rid of everybody. Duran's gone. Jax is gone. Varland's gone. All those great relievers. The bullpen is very depleted now. So if you like the Twins, just take first 5 is what I would say. And I just trust. I like Ryan more than Williams, but the rest of the Twins team and a lot of their bats were traded away. I mean, it's just tough right now to back the Twins after everybody they traded. But Joe Ryan's the one guy you'd want to back. So I lean Twins, but I'll stay off. What do you think, C-Mac?
Yeah, I think even with the 7, this is an under. I mean, look at this lineup here for the Twins. And Gavin Williams been a little bit better and better of one thing I've noticed with Joe Ryan, even on the road, he's been pretty good off a bad start traditionally, in his career. And the Guardians, this lineup just doesn't scare me at all. I know it's a 7, but I think it's an under here, nothing.
All right, Astros and Red Sox. We've got Hunter Brown and Cooper Criswell here, the pitching matchup. Astros minus 130 road favorites, 8 the total. Red Sox fans want Craig Breslow's head on a spit right now for the lack of action at the trade deadline, lack of activity. What was their big move? They brought in fucking Dustin May from the L.A. Dodgers. No wonder they're pissed. Oh, my goodness. That's a team that's right there. I mean, they're in a wild card spot right now, and yet they did very little, if anything, to improve this Boston Red Sox team. So they're going to go forward as is. I think Houston's probably, I did bet Houston here minus 130. I just think it's a pitching advantage. Brown here for the Astros. And the Astros finally, after the bad run, right? They got swept by the A's. They lost the first game against Washington. Now the bats started to wake up there the last 2 games, and maybe that carries over here into this series. So I think it's pretty cheap for a guy that's pitched. He's had his odd rough outing here and there, but for the majority of the season, Hunter Brown's been really good. So I think Houston minus 130 is good enough for me. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, and all these guys are in here. Pena's back today. Sanchez in. Correa's in. The 4-hole. Trammell, that guy started to hit a little bit a few weeks ago. And one thing I wanted the other way, Hunter Brown's been pretty good. I kind of wanted to look at the Red Sox, but I can't do it at all. And the Astros have just owned them in Boston. It seems like, they just continuously beat their ass. But I kind of thought this game would be tight, low score. We do have an 8 and a little bit of a bullpen day. It was another reason for me to just stay off in the end. But I was in the Red Sox.
All right, Yankees and Marlins. We've got Carlos Rodon and Jansen Junk, the pitching matchup here. Yankees minus 160, road favorites, 7.5 the total. Let's give, Cashman's not very well liked by Yankee fans, and certainly Boone has had his share of criticism, but let's give Cashman a little credit. They needed to address the bullpen, and he did. Got some good arms. Bednar from the Pirates, although he still scares me a little bit, that Bednar, who they got from Pittsburgh. We'll have to see in the playoffs how he can perform. Bird who's a pretty solid reliever with the Rockies. The best one they got, obviously, was Doval from San Francisco, considering the way he's pitched this year for the Giants. But they did need to address this suddenly vulnerable bullpen, and they did that. I know some Yankee fans are still upset they didn't get a starter, but nevertheless, they at least looked at the bullpen and were able to address that and upgrade it yesterday at the deadline. We'll see what happens with Rodon here on the road. I'm not laying minus 160 with Rodon and the Yankees on the road. Keep in mind, too, the Yankees had that rain-delayed game against Tampa yesterday. It had a late finish, so it delayed their travel to Miami for this game. So it's not the greatest of scheduling spots or situational spots here for the Yankees. I don't know what we're going to get from Junk, though. He's had a little bit of good, little bit of bad, kind of been all over the place. So no bet here for me. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, shout out to everyone in here. That Oldie, Thomas, GNL. Yeah, Giants team total. I mean, how can you not until they score some runs. And Peterson's been that good at home. I've just had some weird outcomes. Bullpen. Right. How about the Braves-Reds game? Yes, it was just nuts. And it came right back. Was under. It's that time in July. But Craig, everyone here, Mark.
Yeah, when you only score one run against the likes of Mike Burrows and Bailey Falter of the Pittsburgh Pirates, you got troubles offensively.
Yeah, I think the bats will get. I don't know. It's not right now. Just right now, they cannot be backed at all. Junk. I know. He has. I think he could pitch all right here. The Yankees. It's crazy to say the Marlins bullpen has been better. I think a little bit, especially of late. It's crazy to say. Rodon's record's been better this year on the road. That last start, he just gave up a bunch of homers, which he can at times, but they all were solo shots. And one thing with the Yankees, I still talk about, it's been even more lately, Ben, is the defense in the airs. It's just showing up like crazy. And I don't know if a ton of that's going to change at all. Marlins here. You talked about that rain delay game. Give me the Marlins. At this plus price, plus 142.
Taking the plunge here with the Miami Marlins. Yeah, I'm not laying minus 160 with the Yankees. So, yeah, by default for me, it would be Marlins or pass. I passed, but I see the case for Miami at the price you're getting. All right, Dodgers and Rays, Clayton Kershaw and Shane Baz, the pitching matchup here. Dodgers minus 130, road favorites, 9 the total. I actually think this price ain't bad to back the Dodgers here. It's only minus 130. Baz has been awful. One of the bigger disappointments for me, certainly of this Rays rotation, if not all of baseball, how he's pitched. And his home ERA is like flirting around 6 right now here at Steinbrenner Field. He has been roughed up repeatedly, and it's not good when you're facing a team like the Dodgers. We'll see what Kershaw does. One thing for Kershaw is I worry about the wind blowing out slightly a little bit here tonight down in Tampa, so could he be a little bit more vulnerable? But I did 3 bets here. Dodgers money line. I also got on a Dodgers team total over 4.5. And keep in mind, you don't get a lot of Dodgers games. Their team total is 5.5. This time it's 4.5. So it's actually reasonable for a change. And the full game over, which I got 8.5 minus 120. It's 9. I still like it. I think we'll probably see some runs here. So Dodgers money line, Dodgers team total over 4.5, and the full game over for me. C-Mac, what do you think here? Dodgers Rays.
Yeah, this is one of the Rays. Have they just dropped their lineup or still not yet?
Let me just
I don't think they have. I've been waiting on it.
Yeah, they should by now. This game's coming up 2 hours.
I know.
Away. Yeah.
It is. It's really late. Everyone's lineup is already out. I mean, I think I know what it's going to be. I think it's an over here, too. He's been so much better on the road. The Dodgers, though, the bats have kind of got going again. Edmonds hit a little bit. I think that they will start hitting here soon. Will Smith's been kind of the key here. Ohtani at least been hitting some jacks, but Betts and Freeman, Hernandez, those 3 guys got to get going. And I think they can. I kind of was looking at them since they could be some runs here today, their RBI or their jack. But on the flip side, I think the Rays can get to Kershaw here a little bit. Caminero, always like to back him versus lefty and at home. His splits are he's a lot better at home. So a few of the righties here I like for the Rays.
Pirates and Rockies. We've got Senzatella for the Rockies, Antonio Senzatella, Andrew Heaney for the Pirates. Pittsburgh minus 135, road favorites, 11.5 the total here in this game. Don't look now. Pirates have actually started to put some wins together here. We'll see if that continues, but you're on a nice little 5-game win streak. They won 2 or 3 at home against Arizona, swept to actually go back further. They're 8-1 in their last 9 games because they swept Detroit at home when the Tigers were slumping, beat Arizona 2 or 3. Then they went on the road to San Fran and swept the Giants, who we just talked about are struggling mightily right now. So now, though, is different. You're laying a price on the road with Pittsburgh. It is Colorado, so clearly it's a game they can win. Andrew Heaney, what are we going to get? He's had some good, and he's had some games where he's been absolutely crushed, like he was against the White Sox, and then he bounced back and he shut out Arizona in his last start. Senzatella, same thing, some decent starts, and then he got roughed up the last time we saw him against Baltimore. No bet here. I mean, I'm not stepping in front of Pittsburgh by default. I guess it would be Pirates lean for me. I'm not going against a team that's 8-1 in their last 9 games, but there's better things to do than lay a price on the road with the Pirates. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, this has come down a little bit. I think the Rockies are live. I know they shit the bed. I still thought there was value. They won game 1. They didn't the next 2, but against the Guardians, those prices were just too big. And with this one, I mean, I think there's going to be some runs. It's hot there. Wind's blowing out. I know there were some 12s. It's basically all 11.5s, though. Yeah. Out there, I think both pitchers get hit a little bit. And the Rockies, after not doing anything, I think they come back home. I'll be on his RBI and his jack is Jordan Beck here today. And on the flip side, I think the Pirates, of course, with Senzatella on the mound, get some runs as well. So Gonzalez, Cruz, Reynolds on that side. I think we get plenty of runs.
All right, White Sox and Angels. We've got Tyler Anderson and Shane Smith, the pitching matchup here. Angels minus 140, home favorites, and the total here at 9, shaded to the over a little bit. I think the over could get there in this one. Angels, starting to hit 3 straight overs. Every game in that Texas series, by the way, went over the total. Angels and Rangers are starting to hit. Bullpen, as we know with the Angels, is never totally reliable. But the key to this is, while the Angels, I think, can score some runs, they're in good offensive form, their lineup, and they should be able to hit Smith and the White Sox. The White Sox have been good against, we've talked about this a couple of times, good against lefties here in the last month or so.
Yeah.
And they face one here in Tyler Anderson. So I think they can do some offensive damage as well. So nothing on the side, but I think the over at 9, worth a look. C-Mac, what do you think? White Sox, Angels.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some runs too. I didn't love, the 9 in this game. Anderson, I want to back him a little more at home, but the White Sox, had a big inning against the Phillies on Wednesday. I think it was the 7th or 8th, and they have been good against lefties. So to me, I mean, both these teams been winning some games. I'd still take the White Sox. I had to here on the side. I'd lean their way.
All right, good stuff there. Lean the White Sox. I like the over there. All right, we move along now. Just a couple of games left. We got St. Louis and San Diego. Matthew Liberatore and Nick Pivetta, the pitching matchup in this one. San Diego minus 190, home favorites, 7.5. The total in this game. That opener was flat out bad, and people pounced on it. I mean, this opened minus 140 on San Diego. I mean, San Diego's got the look of. I mean, we got to see if all these pieces fit still. But they have the look of a serious contender after what they did at the deadline. I mean, how do you not love a lot of the stuff that the San Diego Padres did? I jumped on a -1 run line in this game with San Diego at minus 120, and even that isn't the price that it once was. But definitely I could see this being a San Diego spot to just keep rolling. I'm not the biggest Pivetta fan, but he's pitched very well here at Petco all season long, pretty much. For the San Diego Padres. And Liberatore is just all over the map. Sometimes he pitches good, and there's also times he's been absolutely destroyed. So which one are you going to get out of Matthew Liberatore here for the St. Louis Cardinals? But I jumped on San Diego. -1 at minus 120 is what I got. It's climbed a little bit, but, I mean, they have the makings of a potential juggernaut. Now, we have to see if all these pieces are going to come together, but, they bring in Laureano and O'Hearn for a lineup that's already pretty dangerous when you've got Arise and Tatis and Machado and Merrill, and Bogarts is starting to hit a little bit now for San Diego as well. And then, of course, you factor in what the Padres did as far as their bullpen is concerned. You could argue Mason Miller was one of the best closers and relievers out there, and they bring him in for this bullpen. So, wow, looks like a really good team. Now, again, we have to see if the pieces fit, but it's a team that looks like they're taking a big fat swing at the defending World Series champion LA Dodgers. They'd better not miss, because this feels like a team that is just loaded up to try to finally take down the Dodgers. And we'll see if they're successful doing so. What do you think here, C-Mac, Cardinals, Padres?
Yeah, I think Pavetta's going to pitch well here. With Cardinals have scored a run in a couple games, and this is a low total. And maybe their team total under.
Yep.
They've just been blanked, already a few times. And I also looked the other side. Padres have been tough for me to take. Early on and in spurts, the offense was better. But I think Merrill and Laureano's in the lineup tonight. You'll see O'Hearn with not against a lefty, of course. Going forward, he's not inside. Maybe he pitch hits. But I kind of wanted the Padres team total first 5 here. It's like plus 120, I think 125.
Yep.
It's just been tough to trust. And Liberatore, he's been a guy that's been really good or just gotten shelled. So I've been looking at that kind of all day. I know with a low total like this, I try to jump on it. When we get a nice plus price, I talk about it all the time. So I'm looking at the Padres here, their team total, first 5.
I like that. I think Padres team total over or Cardinals team total under, or my route, the -1 with the Padres. Like I said, I think they're all.
This line is moved. Yeah. Holy shit.
That was wrong. That after all the moves the Padres made to improve the team at the deadline, they couldn't be -140. And the way St. Louis is playing and the way the Padres are heating up, they shouldn't have been as low as -140. And everybody picked up on that 50-cent move now on the Padres. All right, next up, Arizona and the Athletics. We've got DeSclafani, who's been around the block for the Diamondbacks. Jacob Lopez, the lefty for the A's. Athletics -130. Home favorites in Sacramento, 10 the total. As always, the totals are high at Sutter Health Field there in Sacramento. I'm on the A's here, the red-hot A's. -130, a split with money line and team total, over 4.5 for the A's. They're hitting. They're playing good ball. We know they went down to Houston, and they swept the Houston Astros last week in very impressive fashion. They're now let me count it up here, 6-1 in their last 7 games. They took 2 of 3 from Seattle just recently. Lopez has been pretty solid, the last couple of starts. His home numbers aren't terrible this year. DeSclafani, I don't trust. We saw him against Kansas City. He struggled. He gave up 2 homers, 4 runs in 4 innings. The Diamondbacks, another team that traded away a bunch of pieces. They are struggling badly now. Totally have collapsed. 5 straight losses, 1-8 in their last 9 games. 2 teams going in opposite directions is the way I see it. So pretty cheap price, in my opinion, on the Athletics here. So I went Athletics money line and Athletics team total over 4.5 split here. Connor, what do you think here? Arizona and the A's.
Yeah, in this game, I got 9.5. This was my best bet here, was the over. I know there's a few 10s now. I see a bunch of runs here. Even the A's team total, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Lopez has been pretty good, but I think he can finally get hit a little bit. And the Steve
that's why I went with the team total on the A's, because Arizona's not hitting right now. I definitely agree with the over, but will Arizona help you out? That's the question.
I think they can here. I think they can get some off Lopez. So McCarthy, Perdomo. One thing with him, which I use a lot more, guy's got a ton of RBIs, by the way. You know what he has here? 75.
Wow.
And 11 homers is crazy. Him there. So with the course, 2 guys out of that lineup, but I think they can score some runs. I kind of like the A's team total like we're talking about, but I'm on that over 9.5. That was my best bet here.
There you go. All right. So spoiler alert for the next segment coming up. All right. Final game, Texas and Seattle. This is a great matchup, big-time matchup. These are the two teams trying to chase Houston for first in the AL West, not to mention two teams trying to hang on to wild cards, their battle for wild card spot in the AL as well. We've got Seattle minus 190, home favorites, 7.5. The total, Jack Leiter, Logan Gilbert. I'm not fading Logan Gilbert. He's my guy at home. He's been absolutely outstanding. Look at the gem he pitched against Milwaukee, I think it was the last time he pitched here. And Milwaukee was red hot at the time. Gilbert's just great pitcher. I don't want to go against. And Texas has cooled off a little bit. Let's keep that in mind. They lost the opener yesterday against Seattle. They didn't have a great series against the Angels before that. It's always, who knows when it comes to Jack Leiter. He's had some good moments. He's had a lot of struggles as well. It'd be Seattle or nothing, but again, minus 190. I'm not laying minus 190. C-Mac, what do you think here? Rangers, Mariners.
Although this is under for me. Even the Rangers team total under. Another team blanked last night. Leiter, I have to say, he's had some good road starts. He's had some tough. And he has. Those last two have been at home, and we'll see. A lot of hype. I don't want to see it though with Seattle. With the now they have Naylor and Suarez. I like that because you get Polanco down in the lineup. It
certainly lengthens the lineup. Look at a Rosarena, big dumper, Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez, Polanco. Suddenly you got a deep lineup.
Yeah, let's see if those guys can come through. It almost feels like Suarez, you just got his red hot, and sometimes now going to a new spot just goes cold. But Rosarena and Rodriguez have been hot.
Yes.
Two guys you could even look at. And it took a little bit and miss, but they've come through. They've had a lot of bombs lately. If you've been taking them the last 2 weeks, both those guys. So finally coming through a little bit after not great first halves there.
All right, there you have it. That's a wrap. I passed on home run props. I'm just a little leery. We don't know half the lineups yet. Normally I'd give you at least a couple, but nothing for me today. I'm taking it light with the home run props. Anything that you liked as far as Jack of the day?
Yeah, Caminero and the Dodgers. I hit on there. And one other one I'm on. Here I gave it. I'm on Jordan Beck. His homers plus 425. I'm on his RBI. I'll put that out on Twitter. Give it a like. He's coming through. Rockies are scoring runs off Heaney today.
No doubt. All right, Thomas Maggio, Timmy Two-Shoe, Jorge Herrera, E. Burke, Adam Westbury, Mark A. Oldie, Dantrell Frazier, Gerald Jones, Craig Carlberg. We appreciate everyone here joining us on this edition of the MLB Hitting the Book show. All right, best bets. C-Mac already mentioned his, and he'll reiterate it now. Over in that Arizona team. Yep. There you go. Over 10, Arizona and the A's. My best bet for this Friday slate, I'm trying to there's a couple that I'm going back and forth with here. You know what? Let's go with the Dodgers Rays over. Let me just see. I want to shop around though. Let's see if there's any 8.5s because I bet an 8.5 on this. If it's 9, I'm going to pick another best bet. But I think there are still a couple of 8.5s out there with juice, but still better. I would always take the 8.5 and lay a little bit more of a price than take the 9. There are a couple 8.5s minus 130. Betway, Bet99, the Score Bet, ESPN Bet. So there you go. There's a couple of 8.5 still out there. So Dodgers Rays over 8.5. Minus 130 for my best bet. Shout out to the chat. Hit the like button. That's a wrap for the week. We hope you enjoyed all the shows. And make sure you check out, we've done all 4 Power 4 conference preview shows for college football. Big 10, SEC, ACC, Big 12. Check them all out. They're up archived on the YouTube channel, the Hitting the Books YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out. And we'll be back with a brand new week of shows next week. Baseball Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. And then next Wednesday, we will do the Group of 5, our final college football conference preview show for the Group of 5 next Wednesday.
Group of 5, baby.
All right, that's a wrap for Connor Mack. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Friday night and a great weekend. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we'll see you Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific for another edition of the MLB Hitting the Book show. Until then, class dismissed.